guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kat, and today I'm doing the mid-year book freakout tag. Number 1, the best book that I've read so far. For that, I'm gonna have to go with The Mere Wife by Dahvana Headley. This came out of nowhere. My mother-in-law gave this to me for Christmas last year. I think she just randomly picked it up. This book is a Beowulf retelling where it's set in modern day, and Hall is a kind of like very wealthy, exclusive neighborhood at the foot of a mountain. And Grendel's mother is a veteran who comes back to America with PTSD, and she goes back to her town in order to recover, only to find that Hall has been built over the remains of her own mining town. So she takes refuge in the mines, her son is born, and then basically chaos ensues from there. This book is so clever, so brilliant, heartbreaking, dark, amazing. I love it so much. You don't have to have read Beowulf in order to read this, although if you have, you'll see like just how clever this author is. Amazing. So yeah, if you haven't already, go ahead and check this book out. It's really good. Okay, so next is the best sequels so far. And so for this I have 2. The first one is The Abyss Surrounds Us, which is the sequel to The Edge of the Abyss. This is a story which follows a world where countries have largely broken down into smaller states, and they ship via ships on like across the ocean, and there are a lot of pirates. So to counterbalance the piratical activity, people train up huge sea monsters. Like I'm talking sea monsters that are bigger than football stadiums. And the sea monsters are trained to stay with a ship as it navigates the high seas. And we are following a sea monster trainer who is out on one of her first missions. Her sea monster is killed, their ship is sunk, and she is taken by the pirates. This duology is amazing. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. I mean, the pirate aspect and the world aspect is the most amazing part, and then the second most amazing part is that it has a queer romance as like the sub-story plot, so it was great. The second best sequel I want to talk about is Iron and Fire, which is the sequel to Silk and Steel. And in this one, we are following an elfin assassin who is sent to kill the dragon queen, who is the reigning supreme ruler of all of the dragon whores. And when he goes to kill her, he is taken down by the queen's son, who is a dragon who doesn't like his own place in the hierarchy because he is being forced to breed, but he doesn't want to because he is gay. So there is a lot, and this book is far and away, like so far from any sort of like dragon shifter novel like that I normally read. I thought it was going to be a really quick kind of palate cleansing, kind of fluff read. This book, the political intrigue, the world building, like there are 3 different factions, dragon, elves, and humans. There is so much plot building, like it is tight. The plot is tight. And so when I finished Silk and Steel, I immediately read Iron and Fire, and then I went to read the third one, and it isn't out yet. Oh my god. Yeah, so it's out in the fall, so I'm highly anticipating that. If you're into anything I just said, do check it out. It's amazing. One of the characters is bi and one of the main characters is gay, and it is just great. It's so great. So the next one is new release that I haven't read yet, but I really want to. And for this one, I have 2, and they are both Frankissstein retellings. One is Frankissstein by Jeanette Winterson. I'm actually gonna go to the library today and pick it up because it just got to the library because it just got released in Australia. We are following a transgender doctor who I believe makes AI love robots. And then we're following a world where it's just kind of like into the future, and there is like love triangles and a lot of different things happening, and it just sounded really amazing to me. And the other one that I'm most anticipating is My Name is Monster, which is also a Frankenstein retelling, but completely different, where a woman wakes up from being frozen in ice, and she wakes up and the world is radically changed. And I think either she's pregnant and she is gonna give birth, or something has happened to transform her herself. I'm not sure. I recently heard about this one and I am intrigued. Love a Frankenstein retelling, and I am really interested to read them. So if you've read them, let me know what you thought down below, because I'm hoping they're gonna be amazing. The next one is most anticipated release that is not out yet, and for me that is The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. She is one of my favorite Japanese writers. She is my favorite female Japanese writer. And this book is set on an island where people forget things, and when they forget, the item or the idea that they forget is removed from society forever. So like if they forget typewriter, they remove all typewriters from the island, and we're following a character who remembers, and that's a really bad thing. And yeah, so I'm really, really, really looking forward to this. I saw Russell at Ink and Paper Blogs haul this and read it and love it, and I'm just like waiting on the edge of my seat for the release. Yeah, so if you have read it or are looking forward to it, do let me know down below. I am so looking forward to it. I can't wait. The next is Biggest Disappointment, and for me, I'm gonna say Why God is a Woman by Nin Andrews. I had been wanting to read this for a long time. Jen Campbell really loves it, and I'm going to have to just respectfully disagree. This is a poetry collection, which first off, I disagree that it's a poetry collection. It's more like someone wrote a short story and then they chopped it up randomly. So it's all paragraphs with full sentences. So I don't know, maybe that's a new form of poetry I'm not aware of, but it was not for me. The story is also a metaphor for modern society where instead of it being a patriarchal society, it's a matriarchal society. Instead of women being subjugated, men are subjugated. They also have wings. But everything that they do is so exactly how society is now that it just felt like I was looking for a more clever representation of it, or a much more subtle rendering. Instead it was like exact carbon copy, just flipped with wings. And I've been looking for this forever. I went to a specialized bookstore in Austin, Texas to find this, and when I finally read it, I didn't like it. So, boo boo boo. Yeah, so maybe it's just not my cup of tea, but it's my biggest disappointment because I was highly anticipating it. It came from a booktuber that I really highly regard. I went to a specific bookstore to find it. I brought it all the way back from America to Australia, and when I read it, it was not for me. Okay. That's enough of the dramatics. Next is The Biggest Surprise. For me, that is definitely Heartbreaker by Claudia Day. This one was weird as heck. I bought it as a library book first, loved it so much I went back and bought it as a real book, a real boy, and it was great. So we're following an 80s cult where the main character is a girl whose mother one night drives off of the cult reservation and goes missing. And this cult is largely stuck in the 80s. It was founded in the 80s, so all the music, the cars, everything is from the 80s. So it's such a weird, odd premise. The first third of the book is told from the girl's perspective, the middle third is told from the dog's perspective, and the last third is told from a boy's perspective. So this was just an odd, weird, amazing gem of a book. I definitely see how it wouldn't be for everyone. I think the reviews are very, very polarized. Yeah, but so that's why it was so surprising to me. It came out of nowhere. Yeah, but really recommend. Okay. Next is new favorite author, and for this I cannot just choose one. I have three. So we have, I already said Headley for The Mere Wife. So that's one book that is a 5-star from Headley for me. Then I also have YOSS, who wrote A Planet for Rent, which I really, really loved. It is a sci-fi reimagining of the history of Cuba, only instead of people from other countries invading Cuba, it is if the Earth was invaded by aliens. His writing style, his imagination. Wow, YOSS, wow. I also picked up another book from him, so I will give it a go and see if he continues to be one of my favorite authors. And then the third author I want to talk about is TJ Klune, who I haven't yet bought any of his books in hard copy yet. It's all been Kindle, which is much to my chagrin because 3 of them I definitely need to get hard copies of. So I have read 4 books from TJ Klune. I read the duology Withered and Sere, Crisped and Sere, which you guys know I really, really loved. 5 stars and then 4.5 stars. I read The Bones Beneath Our Skin, which I haven't yet reviewed or wrapped up yet, but it is a 4.5 star read for me. And then I read How to Be a Normal Person, which I really did not like and was a 2-star read. So I don't know, but I'm still gonna say one of my favorite authors because that is 3 books that are 4.5 stars or higher for me, which is really, I never almost give 4.5 or 5 stars. So TJ Klune, I am really excited. And also he has a crap ton of books, so I'm really excited to work my way through everything he has written. The next one is Newest Fictional Crush, and for this one I actually have no one. I haven't yet read a book this year where I really crushed on any of the characters. Yeah, usually I don't develop fictional crushes, and I also think it has to do with my reading style. Most of the books that make it on my favorite books of all time list, like 4.5 or higher, usually has really dark content or like psychological themes or very twisted storylines, and that doesn't necessarily lend itself to me feeling romantically attached to any of the characters. So yeah, no answer for this one, sorry. Next is Newest Favorite Character, The Bones Beneath My Skin by TJ Klune, and my favorite character is Artemis Darth Vader. So definitely if you like The Humans by Matt Haig, or you like We're the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson, you should definitely check out The Bones Beneath My Skin, The Bones Beneath Our Skin by TJ Klune. It was so good. It's a first contact story that is told when the main character goes to a cabin in the woods that has been left to him by his parents, and it is being inhabited by a man who's very dangerous and a young girl who calls herself Artemis Darth Vader. Artemis Darth Vader is precious and must be protected at all costs, and this book is so good. I really recommend it, and wow, it's great. So, oh, TJ Klune, I love you so much. My fictional crush might just be the writings of TJ Klune, if that was personified, so yeah. Okay, book that made me cry. So I think the book that made me cry the hardest recently is definitely I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. So this one is following Ben DeBecker, who comes out to their family as non-binary. Their family kicks them out and they go to finish out their high school years with their sister, who they've been estranged from for 10 years. This book made me sob buckets, like 3 times. And I am a pretty easy crier, but this book just like really got me in the feels. And it's really great. I think I gave it 5 stars, and then reading some reviews from Own Voices, I think maybe I'll drop it down to 4.5, just for certain things with misgendering that happened. I guess it slipped through the edits, but regardless, the first time I read it, oh, it just made me sob. So yeah, definitely check this one out, although it has been everywhere. So I'm sure that maybe you already know about it, but made me cry a lot. Next one, the book that made me happy, I'm gonna say How Not to Ask a Boy to Prom. Okay, so this was freaking adorable. So the main character is gay but has never had a boyfriend yet, and their sister takes it upon themselves that before they go off to university, they are gonna help the main character get the boy that they like as their prom date. So the sister hatches this plan, and it all goes horrendously wrong, and he ends up going to prom with someone else, and things ensue. So if you're looking for a story that's really cute, really adorable, not too much on the darkness, just really full of like sugar and light, then I really recommend this. It made me smile. It made me be like, oh my god, it's so precious. I love it so much. Yeah, so I got totally invested in this one. How Not to Ask a Boy to Prom. It was adorable and made me really happy. Okay. Second to last is most beautiful book I've bought so far this year. That definitely, I think, is The Seas by Samantha Hunt. I have a thing for mermaids, so this cover was obviously going to get me. And I just want to mention one other one. So you guys have not actually heard about this because I only recently bought it, so this is naughty. I have not even talked about it, but I'm gonna say it. It is Unbroken, edited by Marieke Nijkamp, and this is 13 stories starring disabled teens. So I saw this in a queer bookstore called Hares and Hyenas in Melbourne when I recently went shopping there for Pride, and oh my god, this cover is amazing. Like, oh my god, look at it. And the back is also amazing. Yeah, so beautiful cover, love it so much. And the last one that I have to talk about is books to read by year end. And I'm gonna just talk about one book in particular that has been on my shelf for a while now, and I spent a lot of money on it, and I don't regret it, but I have not read it yet because I just want to savor it, and I love it. So it's actually The Electric State by Simon Stalenhag. So, oh my god! This is set in 1997. And this is a dystopian world where a young woman and her small yellow robot go on a road trip across America. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna show you some pages right now because I just can't. It's amazing. I think the reason I put off for so long is that I don't want to, oh, it's also creepy AF as per the usual, but I think the reason that I love it so much is like, the word choice is so different for each page. So yeah, so if you're looking for something that is creepy, post-apocalyptic, full of visual imagery and a story, this might be for you. But I bought it because I just love the color palette in it, and also it is really creepy, really dark, and I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. Oh my god. Yeah, so it talks about their journey. Oh, creepy. Yeah, like this. Yeah, so I have been really wanting to read this ever since I bought it. I saw it in a store, freaked out because I didn't get it, really wanted it, ran back to the store and bought it, and yeah, I really want to read this. I just haven't yet because I just feel like I want to do it all in one sitting, so I need a solid like maybe 2 or 3 hours where I know I won't be disturbed. Yeah. So that finishes up my mid-year book freakout tag. I hope that you liked it. I hope that you saw some books maybe that you didn't know about before. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, that would be awesome. Let me know some of your favorite books of the year so that I know what to read, especially if they are, you know, dark, surreal, weird, or queer. That would be awesome. Or about mermaids. So I will chat to you later. Bye!